Hey, what's up, fellas? I want to talk about the importance of nervous system regulation as a reminder to you guys who are currently scrolling on your phones or on your laptop or whatever, and essentially you're overstimulating yourself by taking on so much information from so many different sources. It's all just coming in from so many different angles, and you're getting hits of dopamine from it, and what it's doing is it's stimulating you. You're having your nervous system stimulated through all this information and the bright lights and the fast editing. These short videos especially, they're the worst, as well as posts on social media, looking at pictures of women on Instagram, sugar, junk food, alcohol, cigarettes, drugs, porn. It's all overstimulating your nervous system, and essentially what it's doing is it's putting you into survival mode. And when you're in survival mode, you are in your animal nature, which means you can't grow spiritually, you can't access higher states of consciousness, which is really what everyone on this planet is trying to do. It's just that most people don't realize. So they're trying to raise their consciousness to higher levels, and there's a strong desire for that. Yet at the same time, everyone's stimulating himself, which brings them back down, brings them down into survival mode, brings them into their animal nature. When you're in survival, you naturally exist in your head, as in your energy is in your head, because you're scanning the environment looking for threats. You think you're in survival. Your entire being's role when you're in survival mode is to try and stay alive, and you can only do that by looking around, thinking about your environment, looking for anything that could potentially harm you so you can avoid it, or you can fight it, which is fight or flight. When you're fighting it or when you're avoiding it, you're in a state of fear, you're in your survival mode, whatever you want to call it. And all this overstimulation is keeping your consciousness lower, it's keeping you further away from your goals, it's making it harder for you to start enjoying more rich experiences in life. I mean, there's so many experiences that life has to offer you on the other side of you putting down the things that are overstimulating you, at least for, I'm not saying it's basically going to be almost impossible just to stop everything. Your nervous system just won't be used to that. The energy that will come up if you just stop everything. It's possible for sure, but just stopping, if you're on porn almost daily, if you're eating bad food, if you're scrolling every day on social media, just to stop all of it might be too much for you. So it's about putting in a plan where you can start slowly calming your nervous system down and putting down the things that are stimulating you. So limiting your social media use just down to 1 hour a day for a lot of people is a huge step in the right direction. That's massive for a lot of people. So many people just can't do it. Even if they want to, they just can't. It's just like a crackhead who needs his crack. And that overstimulation is the only thing that he can get some form of pleasure from. It's dopamine. Dopamine is quick release, it's the instant gratification, and the more you seek dopamine, the more stimulated you are, the less your serotonin receptors are working, which means you get less and less pleasure from the outdoors, from human interaction, from watching a sunset, from enjoying the beach. It's beautiful sea here. When I was caught up in so much overstimulation, I never would have come down to the beach because it did nothing for me. I had to just seek dopamine. So I'd rather have spent my time on my phone in my room than I would down here on the beach, just enjoying just how pleasurable it is. Yeah. So think about it like this, right? Your nervous system is like more of a science-backed, physical understanding, if that's the right word, of manifestation. If you want to have more experiences in life and start enjoying life more, bringing in more money, having more exciting relationships, however that looks for you, you want to create an online business, you want to put yourself out on social media and start building a following of people, whatever it is, if you want to do any of that and you're not doing it, it's because of the state of your nervous system, specifically the stress that comes up, the fight or flight that you go into when you step towards your goal. And that discomfort, that stress that you don't want to feel, means that you turn back round and retreat back to safety, which essentially is your coping mechanisms coming back up, which for most people is pornography and phone scrolling and sugar and all of that. And so there's this cycle of like putting those things down and stepping towards your direction in life, and then when things get too uncomfortable, you retreat back to safety. So I think most people on the path will agree with that. Now, what you're going to do about it, how can you make changes? Well, for one, as I said, is to put down the things that are overstimulating you. But also the second thing is, what are you going to do instead? Like, if you stop staring at your phone all night, what are you going to do? Because if you don't have something to channel that energy into, to put your focus on, you're not going to do it. You're going to carry on just leaking all that energy into something that does nothing for you other than just stimulate certain receptors that just make you want more and more and more, and then you repeat that cycle over and over and over and over and over again, and eventually you're going to get too old to do what it is you really want to do, and you're going to potentially live with regret. Now, I don't want to say that in a way to scare people, but in a way I kind of do, because I know for me, if I wasn't doing what I'm doing now, when I got older, I would have so much regret, because I feel like this is what I'm here to do, and I don't want to be on my deathbed or when I get too old, knowing that I never truly went for what I knew that I could, just because of fear. So sometimes I go off track a little bit, but one thing you can do, just start practicing this every day, is learning how to relax. Like, do you know how to relax? Do you know how to slowly breathe into your belly through your nose and just get a visceral feeling, a visceral sense of your nervous system calming down and relaxing with each exhale? And you can do this just by feeling your body with your felt sense awareness and just releasing any tension in your body. If you're holding your phone now, you probably have tension in your body. It's hard for you not to, especially when you're scrolling. I mean, I feel I'm carrying a bit of tension myself now. I feel it, I'm holding my belly in. So can I relax my belly a little bit? Can I drop my awareness down into my legs? And can I feel my feet against the ground? Can I allow the words to come out a little slower and breathe a little slower? I mean, it's amazing how quickly you can start to feel good when you allow yourself just to calm your nervous system down a little bit. And the more you do this, the better you'll feel, the more focused you'll be, the more attention you'll have to be able to put that attention, that focus, that energy on what it is you want to create in your life, rather than the things that are taking you away from the thing that you want to create in life. The other side of this is when you develop this focus and attention, not only can you put it on where you're going, you put your energy onto your direction, your path, whatever that looks. And that could just be feeling more confident in social situations. You don't need to find some grand plan. But when the emotions come up that are stopping you from heading in that direction, which they will, because that's how it works, you have the ability to focus on those heavy emotions long enough to actually start healing them. Because when you don't have your focus, what happens is the uncomfortable emotions come up and you're so easily distracted, and you so don't want to feel those emotions that you'll instantly go to your coping mechanism, which is to avoid the emotions. But if you have that sense of stillness, if you have that focus, when things get uncomfortable, you can allow yourself to feel those emotions. Breathe them into your body. Just notice where you feel them in your body. And just allow them to move as they want to. And you'll start seeing that they're not who you are. They're not actually that painful. It's just your mind told you that they were painful. And this is unconscious coping mechanisms we pick up from a very young age, where we believe we can't feel certain emotions, we can't experience them. Truth is, we can. So your comfort zone is currently where you live. The experiences you're not having in life and the things that you're not attaining are all outside of your comfort zone. And that zone of comfort is essentially the point where you go from feeling relaxed to feeling stressed, which is your nervous system. So it makes total sense that by learning how to regulate your nervous system, that zone of comfort, I'm getting a bit wet here, that zone of comfort expands. And now, once you can do that and you start stepping into the things that used to scare you, and that comfort zone expands to cover new experiences and new areas in life, now that's just within your zone of comfort. Now you can do the things quite effortlessly that once were almost impossible. I mean, this is how we'd start with life, right? We start off by, there's just a bunch of stuff we can't do, and then we start stepping into discomfort. I mean, just learning how to walk. You think how many times a young child, baby or toddler has to fail and fall down and hurt themselves before they can walk. We all did that, right? That was you once. And when you fell down, you didn't beat yourself up and call yourself a failure and say you can't do it. Yeah, you might have had a little tantrum now and again and experienced pain, and then you emoted, you allowed that energy, that emotion to pass through you, through the expression of the emotion, because you weren't suppressing your emotions back then. You had total courage to feel everything, and then you just carried on. Same when you learn to ride a bike, when you learn how to talk, you're doing maths at school. I mean, everything you know now was once learned, and you failed all along the way. And when we're young, we don't make failure mean anything about us personally. Except now we do, because we're adults and we have a bunch of stories that we've picked up that tell us we're not okay as we are and that we have to succeed. And it's all bullshit. You can have almost everything you want in life once you learn how to regulate your nervous system, start becoming more embodied, put down the things that are overstimulating your mind and your nervous system, become more focused, become more relaxed as a man, learn how to sit still, meditate in total stillness. See if you can just sit totally still with your eyes closed, concentrating on your breath, just beyond what's comfortable. So for some people that could be a minute, for some people that could be 10. You can just write down a little chart, Monday to Friday along the top, and then along the side meditation, stillness meditation. And then the time beyond what's comfortable. So if you sitting still for a minute gets really uncomfortable, then that's great. Start with a minute. And every day you just tick it off. Tick off each day when you complete your 1 minute meditation or your 10-minute, 20-minute, whatever it is. And then enjoy that feeling of having accomplished something, especially at the end of the week when you've gone Monday to Sunday and you've done that thing every day. And you're just taking little step towards being a man who can set himself tasks and take it to completion, and becoming a man who trusts himself. So when he sets himself the task, he knows he's going to take it to completion, rather than deep down knowing you're probably going to give up. It has to start with small steps. There's that saying, a journey of 1,000 miles starts with a single step. You can't just go from having zero trust in yourself and being overly stimulated and under-focused to suddenly being this man who's totally focused and can sit still for hours and goes after his goals. It's just not possible. It's your nervous system can't handle the stress of the reality that you want, and so you've got to take little steps towards it. And if that means meditating for 30 seconds a day for a week, and then feeling the accomplishment of doing that, and then pushing it to 45 seconds or a minute in week 2, and just keep going. It won't take long before you start noticing that you're walking around, your energy's shifted, you feel more relaxed. You're not walking around listening to music all the time and overstimulating yourself with that. You can just feel your body as you walk through town and feel your legs against the ground, just because you're naturally becoming more relaxed. It's really, it's just an amazing process, and I recommend everyone try it, because you'll start seeing benefits very, very soon. Please subscribe to my channel if you want to hear more, and I'll see you in the next one.